Chandra. Pahudui jana mitai Gaura Chandra. Sabhavatar Sarasiromani केवल आनंद कंदा. केवल आनंद कंदा. जय राधा माधव गाएंगे. जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी. जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी. जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी. यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन. यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन. यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन. यमुना तीरा वनचारी. जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी. जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी. जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी. जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी. यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन. यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन. यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन. यमुना तीरा वनचारी. यमुना तेरा वनचारी. जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी. जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी. यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन. यमुना तीरा वनचारी. जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे. हरे राम Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol.
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की हरे कृष्णा। सबका स्वागत है। वेलकम ऑल टू दिस मॉर्निंग भागवतम सेशन एट इस्कॉन अत्तापुर। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकीं। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। हरे कृष्णा। वेलकम ऑल। So now Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam का अभी Canto 2 Chapter 1 Text 32 today we will be discussing. So Canto 2 is about cosmic manifestation. Chapter 1 is the first step in God realization. Chapter Text 32 is talking about Virat Roop, about Bhagavan. So many things will be there. In the mainly it is talking about Bhagavan's breast is the religion and Lord's back is the irreligion. So there are so many other things we will discuss during the course of discussion. Yeah. So I will recite, you pitch it back, you will recite the same thing. Vridottarastoodara eva lobo dharmaha स्तनो धर्म पदोस्य पृष्ठम् कस्तस्य मेढ्रं वृषणौ च मित्रौ कुक्षिः समुद्रा गिरयोस्तसङ्घाः व्रीडोत्तरास्तोदर एव लोभो धर्मः स्तनो धर्म पदोस्य वृष्टम् कस्तस्य मेढ्रं वृषणौ च मित्रौ कुक्षिः समुद्रा गिरयोस्तसङ्घाः व्रीडोत्तरौस्तोदर एव लोभो धर्मः स्तनो धर्मपदोकस्य पृष्ठम् कस्तस्य मेढ्रं वृषणौ च मित्रौ कुक्षिः समुद्रा गिरयोस्तसङ्गाः. Now you can repeat. व्रीडोत्तरौस्तोदर एव लोभो धर्मस्तनो धर्मपदोकस्य स्पृष्टम् कस्तस्य मेढ्रं वृषणौ च मित्रौ कुक्षिः समुद्रा गिरयोस्तसङ्घाः. व्रीडोत्तरस्तोदर एव लोभोदर धर्मः स्तनो धर्मपदोकस्य वृष्टम् कस्तस्य मेढ्रं वृषणौ च मित्रौ कुक्षिः समुद्रा गिरयोस्ति सङ्घाः. व्रीडोत्तरस्तोदर एव लोभोदर धर्मः स्तनो धर्मपदोस्तवृष्टम् कस्तस्य मेढ्रौ वृषणौ च मित्रौ कुक्षिः समुद्रा गिरयोस्तसङ्गाः. Anybody? Okay, we'll read synonyms, word to word translation. Vrida, modesty. Uttara, upper. नहीं आ रहा है ना? One second. Yeah. Vrida, modesty. Uttara, upper. Osta, lip. Adaraha, chin. एक्चुअली लोअर लिप को बोलते हैं. एक्चुअली तेलुगु में से मैंने निकाला तो लोअर लिप को आदरहा बोलते हैं एक्चुअली. सो एवा सर्टेनली, लोभा हैंकरिंग, धर्मः रिलीजियन, स्तना ब्रेस्ट, अधर्मा इरिलीजियन, पथा वे, अस्या his, prashtam back, kha brahma, tasya his, medram genitals, vrushanu testicles, cha also, mitrau the mitra varunas, kukshihi waste, samudraha the oceans, गिरयः the hills, asti bones, संघः stack. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Modesty is the upper portion of his lips. Hankering is his chin. Irreligion is the breast of the Lord, and irreligion is his back. Brahmaji, who generates all living beings in the material world, is his genitals. And the Mitra Varunas are his two testicles. The ocean is his waist. And the hills and mountains are the stacks of his bones. So you can repeat after me. Modesty is the upper portion of his lips. Hankering is his chin. Religion is the breast of the Lord, and irreligion is his back. Brahmaji, who generates all living beings in the material world, is his genitals, and the Mitra Varunas are his two testicles. The ocean is his waist, and the hills and mountains are the stacks of his bones. Purport. The Supreme Lord is not impersonal, as mentioned by less intelligent thinkers. Rather, he is the Supreme Person, as confirmed in all authentic Vedic literatures. But his personality is different from what we can conceive. It is stated here in that Brahmaji acts his genitals and that the Mitra Varunas are his two testicles. This means that as a person, he is complete with all bodily organs. But they are all of different types with different potencies when the Lord is described as impersonal. Therefore, it should be understood that his personality is not exactly the type of personality found within our imperfect speculation. One can, however, worship the Lord even by seeing the hills and mountains or the ocean and the sky as different parts and parcels of the gigantic body of the Lord. The Virat Purusha, the Virat Rupa, as exhibited by Lord Krishna to Arjuna, is a challenge to the unbelievers. Om Agnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunnitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsa Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunadanitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vichakanitamsa Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Pasyatya Desatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Brunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Welcome all once again to this morning Bhagavatam class. Please bless me all. I am not eligible to sit here and discuss on this Vyasasan, but with the blessings of Vaishnavas and Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj, so I am able to sit here, discuss something among you all. Please bless me once again. Hare Krishna. So this is very high level topic, though looks very simple because so many things have come here. So yesterday I was trying to watch different videos from various Prabhus and other senior Vaishnavas. So I come across one of this one is, first let me give my gratitude to His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. So I was hearing his lecture, which was given many years back actually. So nice points I have noted down, many of the points are coming from there. So let us say one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra to Prabhu Maharaj, so that so whatever he spoke I'll try to present here. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So actually Supreme Lord is we can visualize, we can realize in many ways. So we have seen even in Bhagavad Gita, many of the chapters describes about Supreme Lord. From even 7th chapter about Lord, so many of his, about his power, his strength, what he is and what he is not. So many things came in the chapter 7 also. And chapter 10 also, Vibhutis. Krishna gives so many Vibhutis about him, all his good qualities actually. And also 11th chapter is Virat Roop, Lord shown, Arjuna asked, if I am eligible to see his Virat Roop, what all we have described so far, please explain me, I want to see you in a Virat Purusha, what all qualities you have expressed. So Arjuna asked, then we all know that then Krishna given his Divya Drishti to Arjuna to see his Virat Roop. And also he said, you are the first person who is seeing this Virat Roop. And Prabhupada also mentions like that. It's not that Arjuna doesn't know, because Arjuna is very dear devotee of Krishna. He knows. But for us to tell, like how in the future, Prabhupada writes, in the future if someone wants to know about God, so this is how Arjuna is asked him to show, the Virat Roop. So that is why we will understand through Arjuna. And same thing is coming in Mahabharata also, Bhagavatam also, So what all we have seen in the Bhagavad Gita. So Prabhupada is always says, Bhagavad Gita is like SSC, studying 10th standard. Bhagavatam is the higher course, is a degree course. So like that, here is coming some more details, about the Virat Roop, about Bhagavan. So many things coming here in this sloka. So actually, I should have told this. Is one of the these understandings about these realizations. There is one of sloka comes here in Bhagavatam 1.18.23. Sukadeva Goswami says, "O Rishis, who are as powerfully pure as the sun, I shall try to describe to you the transcendental pastimes of Vishnu as far as my knowledge is concerned, as the birds fly in the sky as far as their capacity allows. So do the learned devotees describe the Lord as far as their realization allows." So this is what Sukadeva Goswami is telling, to the Rishis. Same way, Sukadeva Goswami himself is telling like that. So a person like me, where I stand, I cannot even fly, So he's telling the birds fly as far as so high, so they can realize God's, in a high level, they can able to give him. So based on their realizations. But since I don't have anything, so what all I heard from acharyas and senior devotees, I'm trying to present here. So yesterday, just going back, yesterday's this one, this actually started from Sukadeva Goswami explaining to Pariksit Maharaj, when Pariksit Maharaj wanted about glories of the Lord. So when the Virat Roop, he's explaining, each from the few slokas from, of course, it's a canto 2 only, from chapter 1, from 24 sloka onwards, is about Virat Rupa explanation is started. Yesterday, Madhava Prabhu, Nitai Madhava Prabhu explained a wonderful sloka. So where it has come as a, Vedic hymns are the central passage of the Lord. Jasa teeth are Yama, god of death. So he has chosen the Ajamela's story yesterday, because it is the point came here, teeth are Yamas, like Yamadharmaraja, is the personification of death. So he was explaining like how the Ajamela, is supposed to be taken by Yamadotas. Yamadotas came to take him to, to Yamaloka. But since he was a devotee earlier, and he also called Narayana. So when he called Narayana his son, but not referring to Lord himself, but his son. But his son's name was Narayana. But see, immediately the Narayana Dotas came, and they, refused Yamadotas to take him, because now he belongs to us. He belongs to spiritual world. Because as per his whatever sins he has done, because he is in contact with a prostitute, in spite of he was a Brahmin, did lot of devotion, because he got into touch with this prostitute, and he has fallen, almost the rest of second portion of his life is fallen, and he was living with her. And so as per Yamadharmraj, so his Yamadotas came and tried to take him to Yamaloka. But since he has devotee, so he was stopped by Vishnu Dotas. So that we heard yesterday, who are all present here. So otherwise you can refer yourself to that. So we'll continue. Now in this sloka, we are talking about further things about the Lord actually. What is that we have to see? Modesty is the upper portion of his lips. The modesty, like the modesty means moderate, the people who are very practical, So such thing is his upper portion of his lips. Hankering is his chin, the lower lip is his hankering. the people who have hankering, desires of, the people generally in the material world has a lot of desires, to enjoy like things. Of course, devotees also have a lot of hankering, So they also hankering, wanted to do a lot of devotion. They wanted to do a lot of seva. Like we can see so many devotees here. They do a lot of sevas here, So they go for everyday book distribution, Nagar Sankirtan, So Prabhu is prepare a lot of prasadam for us. Hare Krishna. Sri Radha Madhava ki, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maya ki, Gaur Nitai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna. So, like here, devotees also have a lot of hankering to do the devotion service. So, it doesn't mean that here hankering means you have to consider only for the negative portion of it. So, we can see it is the positive side. Because in this regard only Prabhupada always right, the desires or whatever we have, we cannot stop it, or we cannot stop doing the activities. Only thing he says, you have to divert into positive side, So everyone will have so many things, Though maybe initial times we may try to use it for our sense gratification. But when you come to spiritual platform, you can change it into positive side. Like he always gives example, like, angry. Some people get angry, That angry you can use it for the better thing in the spiritual one. So he refers to devotees of Lord. So anybody remember what are those two? And Arjuna also, So he always refers, Hanuma is always angry, So he burned the Lanka, He went there to see Sita and come back just to give the information. But he got angry and he burned the full Lanka, So he's angry, he utilized for the service of the Lord, So like that, if you have any of such things, you can utilize, Suppose Prabhupada says if someone is criticized some devotees, you can use your anger there. Of course, don't go and hit him or do beyond things, to handle it in a proper manner, So that is the meaning, like any of our desires or any things are there, we can divert. Like, sometimes different people will have, maybe initially people may be reading so many novels, so many things and all those things. And when the people come to ISKCON, now they are reading not only spiritual books, Prabhupada written books like Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So what are reading habit they had, they use it in material life. Now they can utilize in the spiritual path, So even sometimes some people don't have some habits, we get a good habits. Like earlier I never used to have a reading habit, I didn't have patience to read books. But after coming to ISKCON, so we have a lot of time to read books, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita and all. We acquire additional, additional habits, So otherwise if we have already habit, we can, purify them to use it for in the service of the Lord. So similarly, okay, yeah. Religion, so Lord's religion is the breast of the Lord. So the breast is the Lord. He's talking about religion, and his back is the religion. And Brahma, who generates all living beings as this material world, is his genitals, and the Mitra or Varanas are his two testicles. So he's describing in details actually. The ocean is his waist. So whenever we see the ocean, we can think of like, his waist. Like last time, our devotees went to beach, Machilipatnam beach, So we should remember Lord there by seeing the big ocean, it is his waist, So like we see many things, hills and mountains. We recently went for this Kedarnath, Badrinath Yatra. There we can see a lot of mountains. So I asked Radhakant Prabhu, how we have to see this, all these things, so many wonderful, nice things here, sceneries and all. He was telling actually, we can see so big, these hills and so many things. Like, we should imagine, because they are resemblance of Lord's parts of the body. So we can think of how great the Lord is, So we should, that way we can think, So we should remember the Lord always by seeing anything, Even in Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned, sun and moon are his Lord's two eyes, So like that. So yeah, even in the, whenever you see the, whenever rain comes, first rain comes, you can see nice smell coming from the earth, So that is, Lord says, it is, the smell comes from that. Then you can see me in the taste in the water, So whenever we drink nice drinks, so many tasty things, Mother Kanya Prabhu always gives us every meal, he gives a lot of juice. So we can think whenever we drink that juice, so Lord's, taste in this, So like that we can see Lord in everywhere. But this is, seeing Lord in this material thing is the first step actually, It is not the ultimate, It is not ultimate. Like we'll see in, like last one of the class I presented, that there are three ways of seeing the Lord, three ways of seeing the Lord is I have presented the same thing. Now, incidentally, the same topic is coming, so I try to present the same slides. Like Brahma, Brahman, that anything you see, like first realization is Brahman. Then yogis see a Lord in a Paramatma, in his heart as a Paramatma. And another is, there is a Bhagavan. So for that, we have seen some examples of, shown the train, coming far away. Whenever you see light, so the first realization is, seeing the light like a Brahman realization. Then the train comes to the platform, you can see, it is the Paramatma type realization. And when you enter into the bogie, in the train bogie, a lot of things are there, fittings are there, lights are there, air conditioning will be there. And apart from a lot of people sitting there, So you can see them, these are all the things, like we can see in detail, like Bhagavan, understanding Bhagavan. So that three types of, realizations, that is coming in the Bhagavatam Sloka 1.2.11. So learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth call this non-dual substance Brahman, Paramatma or Bhagavan. So these three realizations, one will get based on their, the consciousness like things. So in this sloka, we have seen, come across the important points we already discussed. What are the qualities of Lord, various qualities coming, various words came here, like modesty, chin, all these things, like we already discussed. So Lord is telling, so his religion and his breast is his religion, back is irreligion. So sometimes we can discuss even the bad things also coming from Lord. Sometimes one can think that these bad things also coming from Lord. It is not so actually. That is why for that example there is a sloka in Bhagavad Gita 7.11 is that Balam Balvatam Chaham Kamaraga Vivarjitam Brahma Dharma Viruddho Bhuteshu Kamosmi Bharatarshava. Translation is that I am the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire. I am sex life which is not contrary to religious principle, O Lord of the Bharatas. So Bhagavan यहाँ बोल रहे, I am the sex life which is not contrary to religion. So जैसा so Prabhupada writes, sex is not bad. Prabhupada writes, someone asks, Prabhupada, is sex is bad? Someone says, Prabhupada says, no, it is not bad. But people can use it for bad or good also. Prabhupada says, if you have a children, Krishna conscious children, that is good. So nothing like good and bad. So that is how we are utilizing. For that we have so many examples. Like a knife is there. Can you say knife is good or bad? You can't say, right? Yeah, we can use for good thing, you can see bad thing. If you give it to a bad person, he will kill someone, he kill someone. If you give it a good doctor, surgeon, he will use that knife, he will cut open and he will repair some body parts, he will give back the life. So that way, nothing is like good and bad. So that is that is in our mind or in our actions or in our consciousness, If we are in a good consciousness, we can utilize for the good purpose, So we can create a good environment there, like so many things, like many things what all being produced here, people utilize for the same thing for good or bad. So that way, so few points I had noted down from Maharaj, this one, let me cover that, otherwise I'll miss out. So basically the subject matter here we're discussing here is the first realization. What is that topic mentioned? First step in God realization, this is the first step. Like when we are trying to understand any subject, even in material life, we are studying something, we have to join in initially, lower classes, maybe starting with nursery, LKG, UKG, then elementary school, we study elementary school, we study the basics. So without studying basics, you cannot make big equations, So everyone studied on tables, 2 into 2, we all, used to mug up things, So we have to study it when you are a child. But when you become an elder, you don't do it because you've already done in the past. So same way, this is God realization also, step by step. So this is the first realization. So we discussed about Bhagavad Gita, like 7th chapter and 10th and 11th. Because this is required, especially people who are in the material life, because they are in that conception only, material life conception. So for them, it will be easily understood when you say like that God is, expanded like this, initially. If you simply, suddenly, if you say he's a Bhagavan, he's talking about his Leelas, etc., people may not appreciate, So, but as a initial steps, we will understand Lord is there everywhere. Like even if you see in the forest, etc., all these backward people, they try to worship the hills, worship the trees, worship the mountains, worship water, so many things we can see, different places. People worship those things, consider them as God, Though they think it is God, but it is not God, it is an expansion of God. It is God is present there in an impersonal form. So Prabhupada writes, some people think God is impersonal, means God doesn't have any personal form. So God is has been come as impersonal. So, Radhesham Prabhu was mentioning in one topic is that people think these impersonal people think that God was originally like something like a paper. Now you have made into pieces, you have distributed. Now there is no more paper available. Now God is available only in the small pieces. So that is how these impersonal people describe Lord. So no more God. Now he has been distributed into impersonalism. So something like that they will say. But God is not like that. He is available, impersonal also, personal also, simultaneously. If you see in some of the slokas in Ishopanishad, right? So we studied God is, when you say complete, God is complete. What is the sloka? I hope I have mentioned here. Purnamadaha purnamidam purnat purnam udasya purnasya purnamadaya purnameva avashishyate. So in that God is complete. When God is complete means incomplete is also there. When Prabhupada writes, when you take 100 rupee note, 10 rupees also there in that, 1 rupee also there, 5 rupees also there, everything. But it doesn't mean that, is only 1 rupee or 2 rupee, it is 10 rupees. So that way, God is complete means incompleteness also in that, So it's not that people take only incompleteness and completeness you forget, and God is impersonal. So it doesn't work like that. So Prabhupada write impersonal means, we can see him in material way also, like that is impersonalism, Like that he says. So for certain things, like you cannot explain certain things to, straight, higher level things. Like, for example, children will ask different type of questions when they are, very children. Even elders will confuse what to answer. Suppose when someone dies, children will ask, oh, kahan chale gaya, parents will say, वो भगवान के पास गया है बोलते हैं, है ना. वो बच्चा बोलेगा हम भी जाएंगे करके बोलते हैं. फिर वो बोलते हैं कि नहीं अभी नहीं, अभी बाद में जाएंगे. कुछ ना कुछ उसका संभालना पड़ता है ना. तो हम भी जाएंगे बोलते तो फिर हमको भी मरना पड़ेगा ना. तो like that, so many questions they ask, If some one of their family members, someone is pregnant, they will ask, why like that? They say, अब तुम्हारा भाई है अंदर, तुम्हारा बहन आने वाली अंदर है, वो बोलते हैं ना. तो वो लोग कैसा गया अंदर? So they will ask so many questions. उनको कुछ क्या सा बता सकता है ना, कोई एग्जाम्पल्स. तो ऐसा ही डिफरेंट लोगों का डिफरेंट वे एक्सप्लेनेशन करने के लिए, सी ऑल दिस, भगवान को ऐसा डिफरेंट वे में बताने के लिए, डिफरेंट कॉन्शियस लेवल के लिए ऐसा चीज़ होता है ना. So these are all the things, one has to understand. So same thing like, for such children to explain, like in Western countries, they have a sex education like things. But in India, we don't have, those things. But I don't in future for such questions. But Vedic education is the right education, Vedic education gives the children, everyone to understand correctly, So that is not needed. So this modern education is not complete education, Like, when even children like Prahlad Maharaj, even as a child, he understood spiritual topics very well, Today, many of these children won't understand even material things. Like, all these Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, when they were children itself, they were in, very high level advanced spiritual things, So like that way, so we also discussed about good and bad. Nothing is good and bad. Everything is, actually in material world, everything is bad only. Lokanath Swami Maharaj once was telling, in this material world, good is also bad. Bad anyway is bad. So he says like that. Good is also bad. Bad anyway bad. So that way, So he also tried to refer something, like gentlemen, Some like Westerners especially, they refer someone, ladies and gentlemen, something like. So Maharaj says, there is no gentleman here. If you are a gentleman, why are you here? We will be in the spiritual world, No, there is no gentleman here, I remember in one of our ex-company, someone came, because he wanted to meet someone, so he met some person, ex-person, many years back. So he came and asking, we are all sitting there, my boss and some colleagues were all sitting. So he came and asking, there used to be one gentleman here, something like that. One of my boss said, yeah, gentleman, kuch nahi hota hai. So he used to make it little laugh like that. So like that way, so whenever Lokanath Maharaj, whenever raising that point, yahan koi gentleman nahi, so I remember that point actually. So that way, yeah, so what all things, just I captured few more points here, so let me go through that. So here is the dharma has come, so religion, so in the Bhagavatam 1.1.2 it is come as dharma projita kaitavotra paramo nirmacharanam satam vedyam vastamatra vastu sivadam tapatrayonmulanam Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam mahamanikrute kimva pareirishvaraha sadyo hrudye avrudyate kritubihi susrusubittakshanat. ये श्लोका आता है ना भागवतम में about dharma. What is the dharma, real dharma? So in this explains the translation, completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated. This Bhagavata Purana propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees who are fully pure in heart. The highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Such truth uproots the threefold miseries. This beautiful Bhagavatam, compiled by the great sage Vyasadeva in his maturity, is sufficient in itself for God realization. What is the need of any other scripture? As soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within this heart. This is a wonderful sloka actually. This is the real conclusion, wonderfully Prabhupada has explains in the purport, because in the name of religion, so many irreligious activities happens, So that is what it is. Bhagavatam is rejecting all those things, we try to say so many dharma, this dharma, that dharma, like father having dharma, then brother, then so many things, for we try to, get into, fully attached into material life, all those dharmas. So finally, the real dharma is give up all these things, all these dharmas. Even in Bhagavad Gita also, Lord says, at the end, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam vaja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma sucheha. So Bhagavan bhi यही बोलता था वहाँ Bhagavad Gita में था. Similar sloka is coming in Bhagavatam. So in the name of religion, so irreligious things are not allowed, So many things like this, people have different, beliefs, different activities, There was a, even sometimes in ISKCON, like, earlier, Prabhupada has always insisted we have to follow strict rules as per Vedic, in the European, during Prabhupada's time, there was one devotee, used to say there, so he used to steal flowers from someone's garden, and he used to tell, everything belongs to the Lord, why he is keeping in his garden. So I will offer to Krishna, they go and steal. So Prabhupada says, no, should not do like this, So people is try to say certain things, you can defend by saying certain things in this type of things, I come to ISKCON, so I give up all dharmas, I will steal flowers and I will give it to Lord. So not like that, so that is two extremes actually. You can try to explain. So same way in this type of dharmas, people try to do so many things in material things, like, people say, Manava Seva, Madhava Seva bolte hai, So who try to do so many things to people, they try to establish hospitals, so many schools for poor people. Ultimately what they become? Prabhupada writes, Prabhupada chastise the people who does certain things, those things, like you give him free food, free education, free things, so many free things. They become lazy actually. You think Manava Seva, Madhava Seva, you say and try to bring them. Ultimately, they come, they do learn something, they can get into bad habits. They can, because everything is available for them, So you have not taught the real Vedic subjects, We have to teach them real things, So that is why Prabhupada is always give one example, one boy was crying there, The people go and try to find out what is needed for him. So they try to give him some food. So he takes food and now he stops crying for some time. After that again he starts crying. Then they try to give him, some take to some place, try to put him there. He stops sometime. Again he cries. Every time, whatever they give, he stops sometime, but again he cries. So ultimately the boy, he needs their parents. If you take him to his parents, so take him to live in his house. So he is happy. He will stop crying forever, Same way, so Prabhupada says, like we are all like that, those children, we are all wandering in these streets. We are crying for so many things, So we are crying for, like Gadi, Bangla, money, wife, children. We are crying every time. Even we are getting all those things, still we are crying, We keep crying for something extra, So we never stop. That crying never stops. But if the same thing if we are given the spiritual knowledge, who is our Lord, real Lord, Sri Krishna, if you had the Lord, so we have everything. So we will never cry, because we have everything. So that is what, Prabhupada says, when our Lord comes and asks you, what do you want, So don't ask, I want this, I want this, I want. You ask him, I want you, I want you only, I want you, God. When Lord is with us, what else we want? We have everything, So that is why the devotees, they feel they have everything, What else? Because they have given up. They have given up, and they have taken the Lord, they have taken the Krishna. So they have everything. You can see so many brahmacharis here, they have given up the family life, material life. They have given parents everything, So they are wonderfully living in the temple. They have everything, So they all will come. God will give, So if you want everything, the things won't come. If you give up things, you have the Lord, you have everything, So all these examples will give us the Supreme Lord when you have. So we have everything. So what else? Anything in the conclusion side? What is the time? You have discussed this. So we have discussed this Purnamadam, Purnamidam. So God is complete. So everything is in that. So that is why in this for Kali Yuga, for people like we have to chant Hare Krishna mantra. So this is one of the sloka coming from Bhagavatam 11.5.32. So Krishna also came as a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Krishna Varnam Tisha Krishnam Sanga Pangostra Parshadam Yajnai Sankirtanai Payavir Jayantihi Sumedasaha. So translation is, in the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. So when you see hear about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in other scriptures, so we know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in this Kali Yuga to take us back into spiritual world, because he is Krishna himself. So this is what applicable for us in this Kali Yuga. So instead of seeing his Supreme Lord in all these material things, all these Virat Roop and all those things, we can raise ourselves, to see the real Bhagavan, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, Bhagavan himself, Krishna himself, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and given us the direction, so on which Prabhu has laid us the real highway road for us, set up the things for us to simple process, how to reach God, Supreme Lord, how to remember Him always, since morning to evening, starting with the Mangalarti time, like then you have the 2 hours chanting, then the Bhagavatam class, then you have Mahaprasadam, then so many things, book distribution, services, all the festival celebration, like, Janmashtami, like now we are getting this July 13th, this Jagannath Radha Yatra. So we have such wonderful programs which will help us to remember the Supreme Lord always, 24 hours. So that way, and Prabhupada, more than that, Prabhupada has given us this Yoga Dharma, is that Hare Krishna Mahamantra to us to chant regularly. So let us continue chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and make it Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. And I try to put in the capsule so many things. I hope I have put things in a proper perspective. Hope you all get something. If any question, any comments, any suggestions, any improvements, want to add something, you are welcome. Hare Krishna. Exactly. Yes, that's right actually. So it is in someone's custody. So we cannot snatch from someone else, So though everything belongs to God, but God has given certain things to certain people. So it is because it is they have to utilize proper way or misuse whatever karma they were going to get. But we have to follow the Vedic principles and do the things. So we cannot simply say that everything belongs to God. But everyone knows that. But God has given assigned to some people to certain things. So yeah, it is in His custody. So in I think Ishopanishad only there is one more sloka comes. You should know which one belongs to you. So we have to take whatever quota given to us only. We have to utilize that quota, and knowing this, knowing that other things belongs to others, so that let them use. God has given an opportunity to other person to utilize it. So we should not force by ourselves. So accordingly, yes, what you said is right. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Anything, Prabhu, you want to add, please? Hare Krishna. Regularly, Chintamani Prabhu usually questions. Thank you all. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरे हरे वो, हरे कृष्णा. थैंक यू ऑल. जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, हरे कृष्णा.